Good evening, friends, and welcome to the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. Cheers. You see this here construction office that we're looking at. Not the one with the helicopters, the closest one. That is one of the buildings that still remain from the first, when we first settled this area. This too, our old swimming hall, our bassing, that remains too. And maybe some other things, but except for those bits, the old kindergarten still remains too. Yeah. Bus platform, school. Otherwise, plenty of things have changed in the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture of the Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. This is really what it's all about. This is the heart of our riches, which has brought us 18 billion dollars here in 2011. A KLM is coming in, 737 is coming in for landing here. Very nice. Yes. Should we do a history or something? I don't know what we should do. We started out really poor here. We were poor as hell. We didn't even live in these prefab buildings. We lived in barracks. Wooden, goddamn windy, draughty. Yeah, terrible barracks. Quality of flats was only like 20-something%. It was not quite bearable living conditions. But we bettered ourselves and built these types of houses to house ourselves in. And we built them all over the place. And we continue building them, so on. So this is a town. This is a polluted Petroleum People's Prefecture proper. This. But we couldn't have only this because people kept dying. And the life expectancy in this town is not that great. And the worst buildings we have, maybe 49, and the best ones way over there by the television station and the radio station. We might get up to 80 something, but so we built this place instead, Utopia, where there is no pollution. Only a bit of noise pollution maybe from the helicopters flying over and airplanes and so on, but nothing too bad. But what we're about is the petroleum and pumping it. The people's pumping Petroleum Prefecture. Why is that road? Why is that laying in such a way when you look at it from this perspective? It doesn't look to make any sense. No. Many things may not look to make any sense, but one thing we can do, we're about petroleum, and we're pumping petroleum. Pumping. So far we've seen the oil refinery. Before we take our flight out to oil refinery, petroleum comes in here. Yes. We use it for internal purposes, for fueling our great vehicles and so on. But which we don't, that which we don't, we sell. Like so, with these ships they call them, tankers and stuff. We have 4 big ones now, okay. Yeah, but the petroleum, yes, pumping it. Yeah, so this is built according to the self-build rules, or whatever they're called. But before it was enforceable by the game, when you just had to be stringent enough. and never ever click the auto purchase or auto import button for anything. Where are you going, tanker? You're going out to the fields, maybe. Is it here, the first oil derricks of the nation? Yes, we started here pumping and then we expanded. Pumping away. And this bridge, remember this bridge? Yes, that was a long time ago now. Like 30, 40 years ago. 1960 is when we settled here. Yes. 1960, yes, and it's 2011 or something now. So, and this was like in the second 5-year plan, I think. All this oil expansion, we got into that pretty oil extraction. Which way do we go? We go this way. But no, this took a long time to build. Now here we do uranium mining for unclear purposes, really. It doesn't really make us any money, this enriching uranium ore into nuclear fuel. It's rather rubbish. This stuff is much better for us economy-wise, but it's a novelty that we get up to. And also, diversifying economy and so on. It's not good to only rely on one single thing. Even though we make a whole lot of money out of this, all this pumping. We're actually reaching the far edges of the oil fields as they have been extracted. I think that we have exploited about half of our oil potential so far. So we could. Sure, we could exploit the rest of it too in a similar fashion as to this, and build that second oil refinery, for which there have been plans since there have been plans for the one that has been standing for a long time. Yeah, they were leaning at the same time. And there it came to pass. But this appears to be the last oil derrick on the line. It could have made sense to start out here and work yourselves inwards, maybe. It could. But we didn't. No. So for many years we simply pumped this stuff out of the ground, refined it, and sold what as is, a lot of it too, what we didn't have time to refine and so on. And we kept buying all the stuff that we needed. Food, clothing, electronics, what have you, steel for building, and so on. But then, eventually we started making things ourselves, other than just petroleum products. And that's where it gets a bit complicated here. Nowadays we're self-sufficient on all the stuff that we need. Really, and the first thing that we got self-sufficient on, what's this? No, this. The brewery. Alcohol, beer, or something along those lines. Yes, cheers. And nowadays we are of course self-sufficient on food and everything. Now we have trains too. How we're built. Don't you know it? These are supplying the advanced industry, the steel, mechanical components, chemicals, clothing, plastics. They do a lot of stuff out here. In the heart of it, center of it, is a steel mill, of course, and we have a train. It's going to sell a bit of steel, I think. But how do you make steel? To make steel you need two things. We needed to expand eventually. We didn't quite need to. As much, maybe. But we did. Anyway. And that brought us to here. On the other side. of the thing. Because we had gotten in our decree here when we were sent out here to also not only develop the oil industry but also this thing, ore deposits in the mountains. So we did. And now we have quite significant iron ore extraction and processing operation set up. No less than 4 processing plants feeding into these monstrous ships here. One thing to note of this land is that there isn't a single piece of hard rock available anywhere. There is only goddamn mud. So all the gravel for all the things that we have ever built, every single piece of road, every single piece of concrete, every single piece of foundational work, every single piece of footpath, every single piece of everything involving gravel that we've ever built, we had to import. It's terrible, but such was it, and such is it still. We send the ship when we need it. Now this is one of the latest additions to the People's Petroleum Prefecture here. This cableway that goes up on the mountain to the prison mountain and the orphanage mountain. They have a lovely view there, the orphans and the prisoners too, actually. Don't have quite too bad of a view. Oh. And people go up here in the cable car and they go to work at various places around here. And children from the orphanages take the cable car down to town to go to school and maybe even to the little college to get a degree of some kind, a diploma, little diploma maybe. Yes, every now and then. But the product of this place is iron. Yeah, iron. Boats is a big thing here. We do everything on the boats. Don't get me started on the goddamn boats in the Soviet Republic. Trains are so much better. Here, a whole lot more fun. These boats are mostly annoying. I mean, when you have them in port, sure, they're great because they're large and they can have lots of stuff on them. But they are so damn slow, not only to move, but also to load and unload, and also to import stuff on and to export stuff on. Everything is very, very slow regarding the ships. Now, sailing being slow, I do not mind. When the ship is actually underway, that takes time. No. But unloading at the border at such a ridiculously slow pace just to make it appear as though the boat is sailing around the world, when in fact it is only when in fact it is only delaying loading to be gone for a long time. Yeah. Anywho, these are the farms where we grow all the crops. We are pretty much self-sufficient on crops. We have a backup import setup thing via a train distribution office. However, that is... I'm not going to look, but it is seldom used, I would think, if ever. Yeah. And we have down far away now. We're quite far away from town now, yes. We have, of course, to make steel. So I need one more thing than iron. You need this stuff that comes out of this mine, which is coal. Yes. We make our bricks here too, because you only need coal apparently to make bricks. And the observant will notice that there isn't a single residential building here around this place. Not one. Not one. That's because no one lives here. We fly people in on the aeroplane here to dig for the coal and make the bricks, and man the fire station, man the little heating plant, whatever they do. But this is all diversions really from the main thing. Yeah, the main thing is the petroleum. train being loaded onto a ship. Wouldn't you know it? Yes, I think this is a bit weak to go out on, but I sort of have to go out here. It's just the way it is. It has to end now. This. Maybe it doesn't end here. I don't know, but at time of recording, it is very unclear if this will end here or not. Yes, it is. So we should not get too abrupt with the ending bit. But there's everything there is to say about this thing. This place has been said many a times. Really. There are always things to improve and make better and optimize and so on. But for now, we can just enjoy this train going here. Are you supposed to take this route, or do you just take it? No, you just take it for the fun of it or something. Don't know. And there goes another one. That's how it works here. They can take a train to work, they can take a bus to work, or they can take a plane to work. If they want to work in the coal industry, they can take a plane. This is something. All this stuff. Something. It's nothing special. It's the Soviet Republic. It's a Soviet Republic. It's my Soviet Republic this time around. Yes, we take a look. Not just go do this all the time. Should we look a little bit at the economy and trade, just to check how we've been doing through all the time, for all time. For all time, we dealt with the Soviet Union for a while. 1.1 billion rubles. It stopped abruptly. All this stuff is not stuff that we've actually made and sold. It's a mistake of logistics management. There, but here, bitumen 7.6 billion, fuel 6.665 billion, oil 2.7, and then iron a bit further down, 271 million, steel 206 million. It doesn't make sense to make this complicated stuff. Nuclear fuel 150 million. Hello, it's nothing compared to these things, you know. Oh, uranium, or yeah, and then mistakes of logistics. Okay, for all eternity. Vehicle fuel 118,678 tons. And again, I always say, but that doesn't sound like a lot. Or that it doesn't sound like that much. Say then. Say, yeah. And the construction manpower, we have used a total of 3,770,830. We're still constructing something. Okay, work days to build this place. What are we building right now, since this is going up? I have no idea. I don't think that I wouldn't think that we were building anything. At the citizens' facility, they're using a lot of manpower, and they're in the industry too. Not that much in industry though. No, since we have the oil, it takes very little work in relation to the profit, income you make on it. Most certainly so. Economy over all time. If we can see a difference in the currencies, for example. For some reason we only I have to be over here. If we look at bauxite, we can see quite a difference in inflation between the ruble and the dollar there. If you look at asphalt, it is no difference at all, because this is related to bitumen, which we sell a whole lot of. Aluminium, we're not in that industry whatsoever, so that's you can see the inflation quite a bit. Alcohol, that seems to not be affected. No, we're not selling any crops. We make it ourselves. Electrical components, we have dealt with. So all the things that we've dealt with, food is, you can see quite clearly when we got self-reliant on food from that graph there. Then that's when the prices stop fluctuating on the market. How much is a ton of fuel here in 2011? To buy $3,000. $3,000? Ah, damn, that's expensive, isn't it? Or, since inflation doesn't work for products which you export lots of, apparently, or there's no difference in inflation between the currencies, or 4,000 rubles for a ton. I'll have the Russian fuel, I think. It feels very, very affordable here. Reasonably affordable. Maybe I have no idea what ruble is worth exactly. So that's not. No, nuclear fuel we actually deal in, and still inflation has affected it. Interesting. Yes, you know what? That's how it ends. Is that a fitting song to go out on this note? No, this one is though. Much better. Yes, the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. Is that it, really? It might not be, but for now it is it, and it's sort of a bit of a mental break in the series here. In either case, however it comes out, this point marks a mental break. Perhaps. It's yet to be seen exactly how much of a mental break from this reality and the near future has to offer. Most definitely. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. We can see a plane coming in to get more workers for the coal mines. The houses of Utopia are glowing sharply, bright in the night. The oil derricks are pumping away. And at the oil refinery, things are going at full tilt all around the clock. People constantly streaming into it. People being driven into it with these prison rehabilitation buses. That too. Yeah, oil is really quite lucrative thing in the Soviet Republic, as it well should be. What's next? I have absolutely no idea what's next, if anything. Oh. But I thank you so very much for watching. Sincerely. Good night.